Hello and welcome to Patch Notes, Season 2, Episode 3. This is Spinozone with Vindy and Wolfclock, and we are here to discuss with you what we discuss with us.
I'm disoriented. What side am I on right now, David?
You are on my left, their right.
Oh, I feel grounded again.
Yeah, but I can't remember if that's stage left or stage right.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Starboard.
Yeah, yikes. Starboard and aft. I don't remember those ones either. I've been on a boat a couple of times.
I'm on a boat. Don't you ever forget.
You got actually this. You know how sailboats have that really long thing below the boat to stabilize it?
Maybe,
No, there's like the mast
rudder?
up top, and then there's like
I believe it's called the bow.
The
bulbous bow.
is that the thing that goes like this
Yes,
under the water? Okay,
the
yeah.
bulbous
So
bow.
I just did.
Yes.
I was on a sailboat one time, and I didn't understand that there were bows on boats. So we were like tipping over really, really far. It was
you
like
could
a
see
a
it?
field trip kind of thing, and I like my life wasn't flashing before my eyes. But I thought death was going to flash pretty soon. Like, I was just convinced we were going to capsize. And then afterward, I learned that actually there was a bow the whole time. And so it was, like, almost impossible for the boat to fall over.
I see.
But it was a really, yeah.
Modern ships are actually pretty unsinkable.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
They really are. So pretty
Just
cool.
like the Titanic. I remember that was a really big
Titanic too.
marvel of,
What they didn't know now and the technology that we have now, it is
true.
pretty hard to sink a ship these
is.
days. A modern ship that's without human error.
It's like that iceberg
It is
meme
pretty
where they
easy to
only
take
knew
out
the
bridges,
top.
though.
Regrettably so. Yes, regrettably so.
So what do we
rest in
have going
peace.
on today? What are we talking about today,
So
Mr.
first,
David?
I did want to check in with both of you to see what you were playing. I heard that there was some fun, some cooperative gaming going on. Is it a Tom Clancy variety?
Clancy?
Clancy.
Yeah.
Mr.
It was Tom Buggy.
Tom Buggy. Got it.
Yeah. So, Mr. Wolfclock over here and we were like, yeah, let's play some Ghost Recon Wildlands. He's only played Breakpoint, which is the second one in that series, but the first one is actually considered to be the better game by most people. And so, anyways, we're doing a mission, big gunfight, having a great old time, and it's an extraction mission. So we had to grab this target and get out of there. And so, anyways, Forrest has the guy that we need, and I'm just cleaning up the rest of the Sicarios, and I come back, and he goes, Vindy, where's the Jeep? And I'm just like, oh, it's further down. He goes, I don't think so, man. It's like, I remember it being right here. So I walk over, and I'm like, what is this? And I didn't say this out loud, but I'm like, what's this guy, like, playing a stupid joke? Like, the Jeep's right there. And I'm like, come on, let's go. And he goes, what are you talking about? I don't see it. I'm like, what? And I said, open up Discord. He can't see the Jeep. He can't see anything in it.
No.
I get in the Jeep.
So you actually are looking at an actual Jeep, and
I can see the
can't-
Jeep.
Yeah.
He cannot see the
The
Jeep.
Jeep that we arrived in too.
Yeah.
It just
There's
really
no
despawned
loading
for me.
It just despawned for him.
Wow.
He can walk through it. There's no.
And I'm guessing you can't, right?
No,
like
no,
you
no.
walk up
He
to the
sees
Jeep.
me. He sees me in my sitting position.
No, it wasn't even sitting.
Oh, was I standing like a
So
scarecrow?
Were you
the,
T-posing?
the hilarious thing is like you were.
Oh,
'cause
I
you
was
put the guy
running.
in.
Yeah.
You put the guy in the truck while you had him.
Yes. Yeah.
Whatchamacallit.
So on his side, so I start driving, and it looks like I'm running Mach 10. And he's just
With the guy.
yeah, with the guy, like I'm holding him, like yeah, get over here, scumbag, you know. And I'm just running Mach 10,
running
and
80
he's
miles
just,
an hour.
He's just like he's losing his mind laughing, and it was the weirdest thing.
So this is the wild in the wildlands.
Yeah.
was
Well,
wild
the
and
thing is
super
we
wild.
did a full cutscene. We load back in, and the Jeep is still not there for him. We had to take a
Yeah.
different car.
Wow.
Right.
That was the
So
craziest
weird.
bug.
So was that like representative of a lot of the play, or was
No.
that just a one?
No,
I've
Okay,
never
okay.
seen that bug before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
It
I
seems
played a lot of
solid
multiplayer
game.
with
I
it,
mean,
yeah.
Ubisoft has had its issues,
Yeah.
but I mean, Wildlands has been patched and
Yeah, but after that, we got into a pretty epic car chase. We were like being chased by a bunch of drug dealers, and I was driving, and he was shooting, and then he was shooting, and I was driving, and we had to carjack people because our car kept getting shot to shit.
we had
It was a fun game. It was a fun moment. It was
we had
great.
a helicopter. Remember?
Oh
we were
yeah,
chasing
and
two?
we used a helicopter to block a path, and when the bad guys came up, we just completely ambushed them. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Sounds pretty
I love
lit.
that game.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, it
Was
goes
Game
on sale.
Pass, did you say?
Game Pass.
He
is
has it
all
on
I
Game
have,
Pass,
yeah.
but it goes on sale on Steam like twice a year for like $3.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Which is
Okay, so that's
highway
totally worth it.
robbery because that game is still pretty insane. The map has you can walk the whole map without a loading screen.
You know, I think I would buy a lot more of these games on sale if games like Call of Duty didn't take up something like 40% of my disk drive. I haven't checked recently what the actual percent is, but it seems like every time,
I know.
like,
It's bad.
yeah, the content that gets added takes twice as much space as the previous
Yeah.
content that gets added. I don't know if it's like a secret ploy
Well,
by
there-
Activision to just take up more of my attention by like actually preventing-
PSA, you can actually so when you install the COD games, it actually installs the full campaigns and multiplayer, even to play Warzone. You actually have to unclick it.
Oh,
But you
Yeah,
can't
you have to do
unclick it.
a modifier.
Oh, it
That'll
is
free up
unclickable.
100. Oh yeah, it'll free
This
up
is-
110
Yeah.
gigs. I know because I just had to do
click.
it to all our PCs here because people install them. Yeah,
The whole
install
thing,
them the
yeah.
I'm
wrong
complaining about my
Well,
problems.
there
and
is-
you have
way. The solution.
no. Well,
Oh,
not
oh,
only the
you mean
solution,
like-
but you have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
times
yeah.
12.
Yeah.
There's also we're running into like the memory limit again, and just games in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
when
just,
I build
hardware
systems
is
for
not
people-
it yet.
When I build systems for people, it's now like a 2 terabyte.
You have to, right?
SSD
Yeah,
minimum.
I have 2 terabytes on my PC, and I'm still uninstalling games for new games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we go to build all the new PCs that we're building this year for like the Appleton list location in Wisconsin Rapids, all of those are being 4 terabyte SSDs.
Nice.
Because it's like it's a little overkill now, but I just don't ever want to deal with multiple drives again.
Yeah.
Especially in a long-term system
Well, and
that's
if you
hanging
can
up on
get
the wall.
updates to constantly like
Trickle down.
be done, yeah.
And you're just not even in a position to have to wonder if you have to
Right.
go. Yeah.
But
That'd be amazing.
yeah, so we played some Wildlands. My daughter started playing Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Yeah.
Those are so cute.
So
that was a
playing
cute
that with
shot,
her,
you said.
yeah, got her to figure out how to hit spacebar every time I need to jump.
Nice.
And then there's this insanely good indie game. It's super simple called Race the Sun. I don't even think it's listed on Steam anymore.
Oh,
But
that's
it's I got it for free. It went free for a while, and I think it got either delisted or it's like $10 now. But it's not worth $10. But it's just a fun little left right arrow spacebar game.
Oh, yeah.
You're just gliding.
Like a web
you have a
browser
solar.
game.
You have like a solar operated ship, and you're gliding, and you gotta like move around. And if you're in the shadows of buildings too long, you like slow down.
That's fun.
Oh, that is cool. That's cool.
It's the most simplest game you ever heard of in your life, but it's like a great like warm up the mind game. So like I've been playing it before I load into League of Legends matches.
Nice.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just League TFT. This set's so much better than last set.
I've
TFT's
played a
been
little.
pretty good, yeah.
I've played a little bit of the set, but I get excited and then I see another shiny object. Tarkov's been my shiny object recently. I got really back into it, and I just checked. I've had 35 raids, and I've extracted 12 times. So that's not quite a 33% success rate.
Tarkov is such an enigma to me.
There was this game. There was this one I had where I'm doing really well. It's on woods. This is the first map I learned because it's the biggest
Woods?
map.
Oh,
and
okay.
so it's the longest distance between me and anybody else who can shoot me when I
okay.
get
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah,
I learned this map because I'm a scaredy cat. Like when I play
Yeah,
battle
yeah, yeah.
royales, I play ring. I play ring and I go on.
Ring is a sound strategy, though.
It's a sound strategy, but it makes me feel like a coward.
no, that's fine.
Well, but
Lot
part of it,
a lot
part of it is
professionals
because
play the ring.
part of it is because I am a coward, though. You know, like they're professionals and they use it as the strategy of the couple they could adopt.
Right.
I'm like dispositionally bound to the cowardly move, unless I'm playing with a friend who gets bored of me and then I just have to go along and shoot stuff. But I load in on woods. I get some really good loot. I know woods pretty well, so I'm headed over like down most of the way down the map. I'm like halfway down, and then I see 3 scavs. They start shooting me.
Human scavs?
I think they were
automatically
AI.
humans?
I think they were AI scavs, but there were 3 of them in one place, and woods is huge, so I don't know why they're grouping up. And suddenly, like both my arms are out, both my legs are out.
You turn into a potato.
I did. I go prone really quick.
So you're
I
not
tie up my
dead.
arms and my legs. I get back up. They shoot me again. Now I'm out of splints. But I was able to get behind another tree, and then I just like start prone walking. I've at this point I have 40% of the length of the map to go.
You're a potato who's wobbling.
I'm able to get back up, but both my legs are broken. I have no splints, so I can't. I mean, I used them already, so
Right.
I can't repair my legs. I'm going as slow as I possibly can, and I don't know if you know in Tarkov, if you're hurt, your character starts like moaning
Yep.
and groaning,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people
yeah.
can hear you more.
Oh my God.
And I'm leaving a blood trail, so anybody who notices or is anywhere near me is going to see me again. Another scav sees me, starts shooting at me. So like I don't have arms, I don't have legs. The longer and short of it, I managed to extract.
How?
I actually get out.
How?
I think I had good luck because these weren't smart scavs. I go prone for a second, and then yeah. There were 3 minutes left on the extraction clock when I actually got out, and right before the extraction timer started. Like when you get to the extraction point, then it's like okay,
Is it
10
30,
seconds.
Is it 30 seconds or 10? Like what's
It's pretty quick.
Oh,
but
okay.
right when I got in and the green timer went off, more shots at
My
me, and I was like,
gosh.
I was convinced I went through this whole thing.
Do you
for
have to be
nothing.
out of combat to extract? Or can
Wait,
you
so
No,
you
no, you could be
died?
getting
okay.
shot at, and
You got killed while you were extracting?
I thought I was going to, but then I got out.
Oh, okay.
And that is why I played Tarkov, because the rush of going through so much pain and struggle. I mean, you know Job, right? I'm not saying it's exactly like Job in the Bible, but I'm saying it feels like a tiny bit like God was testing me.
Okay.
And my faith in re-downloading the game was rewarded.
I see.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, isn't Bungie coming out with
An extraction game, yeah.
Oh,
but
that
what's
would
it
be sick.
called?
Marathon.
Is
So
it Marathon? I thought
yeah.
that other EA game. Oh, that was Anthem.
Anthem, yeah.
Marathon.
And Anthem wasn't an
Yeah.
extraction game,
But Marathon, yeah, that would be really interesting
Well,
to
it's
see
a-
how.
It's a callback to their original game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that that's a 20-year-old
Yeah.
idea.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Not the extraction part, but
Right.
Marathon.
They're returning to
the
that time
theme.
period.
Oh,
Yes,
Well, it's
oh,
actually
okay,
a time period.
Okay.
Is it? Is that what it's supposed to
they're
be?
linked. Yeah, Halo, Marathon, and Destiny are actually all linked together.
I think I heard someone say it.
So
Is
Marathon-
that canon though? Is it actual official canon?
It's very loose.
Okay,
it's very
yeah.
loose. Because
I know
Marathon
that-
is supposed to happen after Halo,
Yes.
and then and Destiny happens after Marathon.
Okay. I can't wait to see it because I never played Tarkov, but I've seen a lot of gameplay. But I am excited to try an extraction shooter from a AAA studio with a unique theme.
Yeah.
Like Marathon's trailer was wild.
Yeah, well,
I'll have to
and
look this up.
It was
Honestly,
wild. Dude, they have a
crazy
ship.
enough-
They have a ship that pierced the moon.
Sony,
Like it pierced the moon. Like
So
it's
it's-
like
yeah.
it looks like something out of like Transformers. It's got it's just like through the moon. It's
Wow.
crazy looking.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, we got a phone ring.
Thought I
Hey,
had it
hey,
set.
maybe it's an emergency. Maybe it's very
It's true. It's
important.
true. It's true. I'm gonna take
All
this opportunity to.
It's usually always on.
Yeah, well, I'll take this opportunity to sneak in just a little bit of North American Valorant news. So, as we knew, Sentinels, the champions of Madrid, they are the cloudiest American team, and they went through the ringer. They proved themselves at an international tournament. They destroyed. They were looking peak. Zekin, best player all time, no contest, obviously. And they lose 0-2 to Leviathan, a team that lost to a different NA team last week.
So
and
big upset.
Big upset. And the biggest reason for this big upset is that there's one dude on, I mean, he was set up a lot. Like his team did a really good job setting him up. But there's this one dude on this team named Aspas, and he is the chattiest Valorant player there is. I'm going to send Quinn this picture that I sent you guys of what Aspas looks like in a timeout. Because while everybody else is talking and like strategizing, he does this.
He
His
enters
eyes are-
Zen.
His eyes are literally closed. He's
Cloud nine.
I'm sure that's just how he concentrates, right?
Yep.
But the no fear in this man. In one map, he got a plus 28 KDA.
Yeah. Did you say that he has the most kills?
He just set the record for the most kills in a single map in an official VCT match.
Yeah,
It went to, I think, 17-19. So that's like they're 12 rounds in a half. So it went I didn't. I
Wait,
don't
so
know.
massive overtime.
Massive overtime.
And they won?
Leviathan did. The Ospas team.
Oh, okay.
Sentinels loses. This is the first loss they've had in some time.
So he went cracked out of his mind, but
Absolutely.
lost the series?
No, he won. He won.
I'm
but
sorry.
He's not
Okay.
on Sentinels.
Oh,
so
okay,
Sentinels
okay.
lost, and so the Hearts of North America also lost.
Mm-hmm.
But people like me who really enjoy how attractive the Leviathan bundle is are not mad. I think it's a really cool bundle. I haven't actually pulled the trigger yet, but it looks great. It's goated. Maybe we'll put a picture of it too, but it looks really good. Sentinels on their Twitter actually they made a bet beforehand apparently because Sentinels has been very big into advertising the in-game bundle.
Yeah.
They have one player on their team, Zelsis, who like constantly shills that.
Yeah.
Shills is a mean word. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
All of
He's
his
selling
social
his
media.
brand.
He's
Yeah,
selling
yeah.
his brand, and he's doing it really well. And the Leviathan, or the Sentinels Twitter said, okay, we're owning up to the bet. They release a graphic saying, buy the Lev bundle.
Oh no.
And they say the Lev bundle, the only bundle big enough to carry an entire team.
Wow.
And the bundle was a backpack, and the backpack just had Ospas's name on it. So it was really funny. And then there was a bunch of small print at the bottom that just says buy the Send bundle, buy the Send bundle, buy the Send bundle for like several rounds. So it was really good. It was really good.
It reminds me of the Team Liquid CEO who just like he made this big video about like a season announcement and he completely rage baited the title. And then like halfway through this like 2.5 minute video, he's like, is this just an ad for Honda? And then like as you get through, it's like it's just an ad for Honda. The whole thing's just an ad for Honda.
But it's set up perfectly.
Oh, it's set up
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's supposed to
So
be
quite
like,
secret.
why we didn't pick up double lift? You know, it's like, ooh, here's the bait. You know, everyone's like talking, yeah, I know inside stories, but watch the video beforehand, you know?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, why is this is just an ad for Honda? And then all the players are like, thank you, Honda. It's just like turns into that. It's kind of, it reminds me of that. It's like, buy the Sentinels, buy the Sentinels, buy
Have
the
you ever,
Sentinels.
have either of you ever played Doki Doki Literature Club?
No, but it sounds familiar.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's a really notorious horror game, psychological horror game that's set up like a dating sim. And so you spend an incredibly long time convinced that all your friends did bait you, that it actually was just a dating sim, and there's no horror, and they just slap the like mature rating on it on Steam, and it's a meme.
Yeah.
And you go for several hours just being convinced like this is just a dating sim, isn't it? This is just a dating sim, and then it explodes, and then you're like
That's wild.
Like over the course, like it gets progressively worse and more psychologically terrifying, and like the character's eyes will be like reversed and cut out, like how the old scary you cut out faces in a magazine and you like composite them? Like it starts doing that and their faces start glitching and it's crazy. That's what
That's sketch.
But 10 out of 10
sketch.
from Spinozone. I love that game. It is amazing. It's not just a dating sim.
But there is dating in it.
So
Yeah, totally. I always choose Monica.
So the Valorant upset is pretty big. Today we also had a record break in esports.
Really?
Yeah, for viewership numbers.
Oh, really good.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
On
Yeah,
a Monday.
So it was 2.4 million views, live concurrent viewers, for the LCK. So SKT versus Gen G. And it was a best of 5. It was absolutely crazy. All the games. People were saying it's the best domestic finals ever had,
Really?
ever.
Really?
I watched the highlights this morning, and Faker did a play and just, man, still got it. Almost single-handedly killed the entire enemy team
Holy macaronis.
in like under a second.
Wow.
Like everyone, yeah. I watched some like casters and they just like fainted, like because like you can't you can't see the angle, like you don't. If someone's like, all right, you pause it beforehand, like how does he do it? And
you have to-
no one would ever guess what he does. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and it's like this one guy just killed like rumored $9 million of payroll in like half a second.
That's
So
glorious.
unkillable Demon King.
Glorious.
Crazy.
Unfortunately, he did lose the series.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crushing. That's
They-
crushing.
They went to game 5.
But then you
All the
can't
games
blame him,
All
right?
the games, no.
Yeah.
All the games were bangers. Well, see, the funny thing is Gen G always has T1's number. until Worlds, and then they just never
When they come up, it's so sad.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that is the world record for a domestic title anywhere in League of Legends. That's not MSI or Worlds.
Really good.
So pretty crazy.
And just to be clear, the takeaway from that story is people in our age bracket do still got it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
30-year-olds can
Always.
still clap.
Yes.
Don't think you're
Yes.
too old for esports. I just had a guy tell me the other day he grew up playing with Gwinzu, who is the guy who like made the Dota
He's the one who
mod.
has the Rage Blade, right?
Yeah, but Gwinzu is his username. He made the Dota mod.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's the one that
So
Valve hired, right?
Yeah. So this guy grew up playing with him. And so we're just talking about like his league career. He's like, oh, I'm 32 now, man. I can't play ranked.
Come on.
I actually fell asleep hearing that. Maybe it's because I'm getting old.
OG or no G?
Yeah, right. And I'm like,
Dang,
I'm like,
that's
wait, you must have been
crazy.
hella young. He's like, yeah, I was. It was me and my brothers. They were all friends with him, and
Nice.
yeah. But anyways, I'm like, oh, that's kind of wild. But
He should believe in himself.
yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think
that
age
guy is
definitely
the single-
matters.
Handedly, is
Yeah.
the reason why Riot exists.
Yeah.
He's also, in a sense, the start of Blizzard's problem with esports because of the Dota mod and the Dota 2 thing.
Was that the start of the Blizzard's fall?
If I introduce that by saying arguably,
It
then
could
you
be.
know
It
I'm
could be.
blameless. You know?
Especially the lawsuit that they did to try to get the Dota
Exactly.
name.
You know, it was
with
all
them
foreshadowing.
failing.
But that is for soon, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Because we have another round in the chamber, and the round is Rocket League.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I just want to rehash the same point that I made last year, but
Nice.
I just want to talk about it again
Of course.
well, we just had our Title Town finals a couple weeks ago. That was a great time.
It was.
Team Geek Lair Gaming back-to-back champions, upsetting.
yeah, I can't believe they upset.
I know, upsetting
Team
Impact.
Yeah.
Oh, and those are the guys I know, right? The Impact.
Team
Which-
Impact is with Remedy.
Yeah. Well, like last year was kind of like, I mean, not to take anything away from Geek Lair, but I literally didn't let Remedy play. And for those of you who are watching and don't know who Remedy is, he's top 100 global. So this is not top 100 in North America at Rocket League. He is top 100 globally,
Yep.
which is insane.
Yes.
And he lives here in Green Bay.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah, he got beaten,
Damn.
which is kind of wild.
Bloodless, man.
Bloodless is no slouch. That guy has fingers.
Yes.
So, anyways, so that was pretty cool.
They're
But-
just really pale fingers, right?
yeah,
Because they're,
dude, you gotta
they're bloodless.
You gotta walk.
It's
Oh
all-
gosh, he would hate that. But yeah, so basically, as I'm sitting there watching these guys like duke it out, you know, I'm just thinking to myself, this game is so figured out to me. Apparently, even though there was a new mechanic just discovered like last month,
Sure.
but it's like super like random and it's
Yeah.
like it can't be used a lot. But I was just thinking like Rocket League just needs more competitive modes than than what it has right now. So you have 1s, 2s, and 3s, you know, and then you have like the hoops mode, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
But like that's a meme mode. People are not taking
Just
that
like
seriously.
the hockey mode is. Yeah.
The hockey
puck,
mode, the
whatever it's
rumble
called.
mode, I consider
The
those.
rumble is so party.
It's so
That's-
party mode,
yeah,
right,
You can't
right.
get competitive with
But I've been telling the Rocket League players, I'm trying to show them the light that they need either a secondary mode or they need to evolve the game to have more levers. The devs need more levers, okay? So they either need to make tires. Some tires fly through the air easier. Some tires
Sure.
have better cornering on the ground.
That's
Some
more
tires
they have to balance though.
I know, but that's what keeps the game interesting because you can
Right.
make metas.
Right.
They have all these different
There
car
is no meta
models.
in car
I know.
League, not Rocket League.
They have all these.
I mean, they have like a car that
They have a
is
car. They
considered
have a
the
one
best.
car meta.
Yeah.
But it's like you have all these other cars with different hitboxes. Make them do something. Give them weight classes.
Yeah.
Do something.
Right. I think that's what the next esport in that an esport that's specifically designed to be a sport is really going to have though.
Like
I don't
levers,
think Rocket
more
League
and more
does.
levers.
Yeah, I don't think Rocket League does it.
Oh, Oh yeah.
But
I
I think
think
the
the next big thing that
Yeah.
people try to make like a whole new. Oh, you mean like a whole new genre, right?
Yeah.
Because like battle royale
It'll
kind
still
of came
be
out of nowhere.
But
and-
like a sport.
yeah,
Not necessarily a battle. Like a
Right.
battle royale or a mobile.
yeah.
Like
Like
the
treated more
digital-
like soccer. Like,
Yeah, the
Right.
digital
Yeah.
successor to some
Right.
sport that we
Right.
have.
If we got like a different take on basketball, but a
Or a
virtual
different
version,
take
of
Yeah, like
that.
with cars.
football.
on football,
Like with
yeah.
cars.
But anyways,
With
I
rockets,
feel like
you know.
there needs to be more levers because right now you can't have
I mean, I
a
think
player
Max
that can
is-
make some sort of meta-defining combination and be like,
Yeah.
wow, never thought of doing it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe the next Rocket League.
Yeah, maybe. I'm
Could
just
be.
saying, like, I remember you guys weren't playing TFT at this time, but in TFT we had Twisted Fate, and he would have pick a card, and so he would cycle through his cards, and one of them was mana, and if he threw it, all the units around him would gain mana. Okay, and for a month this character was out. Pros are playing at the highest level, right? This random diamond player, I mean, a good player, but a diamond player.
Yeah.
He figured out, why wouldn't I just place multiple TFs by each other? And he did the math for the probability. If one can get a chain reaction to create cast mana and another cast mana, and they happen to hit blue cards, he actually made a mathematical formula that is actually more DPS to have 3 of the same unit. And if you know anything about TFT,
Yeah.
that's a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was making actually a mathematical formula that if you had 3 TFs and they can hit a certain percentage of time, you will just outspam
Right.
abilities,
The
and you would just
specials.
put a bunch of spellcasters near him. Dominated the ladder like 2 weeks. He shot up with like an 85% win rate. Like, just yep.
And that's nuts on a TFT. Like even
They
the
nerfed
most
it.
broken.
They
comp- of course, they had to.
They
had
hot patched it.
Yeah.
And
Because
ever
this got
since
found.
Yeah,
He
ever
found
since
the glitch.
the guys hovered around master or anything. But like, it's like crazy. Like he was the first one to really think outside the box. No one was thinking out like that at all. And it's like, I feel like you can't really have those moments in Rocket League anymore. We've already discovered them all.
Yeah.
The game is amazing, but
Smash
it needs
Brothers
to it needs to
suffers from the
evolve.
same
It needs
thing.
to evolve.
I think I brought this up in a previous episode, but what is it about Rocket League that makes it different from soccer, where fans of soccer aren't asking for a balance patch or more levers, and they're chill just continually? Is it just like,
'Cause it's
Genetics.
physics. Well, it's physical.
and so we're just like,
No, I
We're just
think it's
more-
more genetics. I'm faster than them, and I have fun being faster than other people. So, like, I'm not going to change the lever to make
but it's
it
a
more.
physical sport, which means you have to change the entire in this particular instance of soccer, you have to change the entire globe's like desire to want to change the game.
so
Yeah,
like,
the dev.
yeah.
Well, no one owns soccer either. So
Yeah,
technically,
no
there
one
is nothing stopping you from adding levers to the game. It's whether people will buy
would,
in or
it would
not.
adopt. Yeah.
play it.
But what, I'm
But,
just
but
thinking,
like forcing a dev, if a dev forces their entire community
Right.
and says there's no going back,
Yeah.
the game will evolve.
Right.
Because sometimes you just got to push people. You know, it's like, I don't know why this popped in my head, but like sometimes you just got to tell people to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, right. That's exactly it.
It's like
Well,
you
yeah,
can tell
that's
them wearing
the
a seatbelt
government-
is going to be better for you.
the government could tell us how to play soccer, and there's nothing we
Well,
can do
yeah,
about it, right?
goofy.
They
You get my point.
they could say we have to call it football. They could
Yeah.
force it.
So
Biggest
I don't
crash.
know. I feel like we need levers. Also, there is like kind of a con to having more levers in video
Oh,
games,
of course.
which is
Balancing.
and I wrote this down here.
Yeah.
Like developers will make unbalanced game mechanics for highlight plays.
Or transactions.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not talking pay to win. So I'm not saying this is different. I wouldn't classify
Okay.
these two as the same. So a League of Legends example would be the character Lee Sin. Very flashy.
Yeah.
Can make highlight plays. You know, the insect play is like one of the most classic plays in League.
And it's unfortunate because he's blind, right? So he can't
He is.
actually see the plays.
He is.
he
How do you
makes.
know that? How do you know that?
TFT.
lore? Oh, okay. And so like these types of plays, we've noticed that like Riot has started making characters who have like all these crazy outplay abilities. Cassante being the most.
But don't people
recent
have to buy the
abomination.
new character that comes out?
I mean, anyone who's already playing the game can just buy any character at this point. So that's not really a
Like
you can
they've
buy it for
accumulated
free
enough.
with in-game currency. Yeah, I mean, League's population is plateaued, right?
That's
like
fair.
we're really not. So it's not It's not that angle. I have enough currency to buy the entire league roster probably 20 times over at this point. Like, so that's not really a thing.
And you can't buy cosmetics with that then?
Nope. No. Cosmetics are only with money.
Do they
So
release cosmetics with those new characters they bring out for your money?
they only release one skin on a new champion. So
that new skin costs money?
what?
That new skin costs money.
No, it does. That's what I'm saying. But it's not like they release a new champion with 5 skins. They
Right.
only release them with 1 skin.
Well, all they have to do is get every player to buy that skin once. And
Yeah,
they've
if
made
you
a
like the
lot of
archetype.
money.
If you like the archetype.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, League is a very diverse player base.
Well,
so
you can
like,
just wait like a couple of months and they'll come out with a new skin, right?
Nope. That's not how they're actually.
It's usually the next season, right?
Oh, okay,
they
like
start
next
no.
releasing
There
stuff.
are champions that have went 4 years without getting a skin.
Ugh,
they're-
feels bad.
There are champions that are
skins
popular
designed
and
then?
newer
Right.
that they just don't like. Orin just now got his 4th skin, and he's like one of the most popular champions in the game, and he's new, and he's amazing. Dude only has 4 skins. Meanwhile, Miss Fortune, I think, has like 20. Ezreal has like 25. Lux has the most. She has like,
So it depends on how attractive they are.
I wouldn't say attractive, just most played, and if you like the archetype, right?
Yeah.
Like I love Aatrox. I love all the dark characters. So like when I see some dark, gritty new skins coming out for the dark characters, I want to play those. But like Hello Kitty Rengar or like Pajama Party Urgot is not my style. I'm never buying that skin.
So Ornn,
But
Ornn only has 4
when has a
skins?
new
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
when has a new character come out for League though that hasn't been good?
Bro, you're about to tick a lot of people off. What?
Like if a new character is released,
What is
in
good?
League of
What do you define
Legends.
as good? Like
something
thematics or
that's
gameplay or just
like
like
win
total
rate.
package?
Yeah,
win
win-
rate?
win
Oh,
rate.
almost always they're at like a 40% win rate now.
Riot has done decently well.
They
with
don't like to release characters. They want to release them nerfed.
okay.
the last several.
Operators in Valorant,
Have been
kinda
underpowered.
trash.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
Which is the proper way to do it.
It
Because
is,
It's
yeah.
much easier to buff a character than it is a nerf a character.
Oh yeah. We used. I mean, it didn't used to be like that.
No, I know.
We used to have like.
Well, and Call of Duty doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Every
Their
new
battle
thing's better.
pass guns
Every
are
new thing.
always
Riot-
better, and
yeah,
they have
Riot
to nerf them.
releases. And here's actually, it is a business decision though. You want to know why they release them so nerfed? Because if they're OP, they just get banned for months.
Oh yeah. Of
They
course.
have to be trash, or else they're insta banned.
I forget about bans. Yeah. Of course.
And then
So the
definitely
community,
no
it's-
one's buying
and
the
if-
skins.
Well, no one's buying skins for a champion they
Yeah.
can't play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know it's not as wholesome. I broke the veil. Wow, Riot's really smart for doing that. No, it's because no one's gonna buy skins for a champion
Well,
they can never
they-
play.
A,
Same thing
they
with Cassidy.
can't-
When Cassidy had a 95% ban rate for like 1.5 years, they're like, wait, this is actually interfering with our business model because Cassidy has some dope ass skins. No one's buying them because no one can play Cassidy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, those.
And that is something that goes into more levers though in a game.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's
Like
opportunity for
those levers
pushing
can
an agenda.
those levers can be if marketing gets involved on the levers and they say like, okay, because like there are themes that are made, okay, we need this character and they need to have one flashy ability and they need to be able to fit a theme so we can market and sell. It's a free to play game. That's a business decision. I totally get that stuff, right? But like you have to, I'm just saying it's not always a good thing that there are more levers because now because we have free to play games, we know that those things are going to be marketed on. Like the next League of Legends character is Ambessa Medarda from Arcane, the mom.
Oh,
The
that's
Noxian
cool.
mom.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's hype.
So like that's utterly insane.
Yeah.
And that but you know the business decision is this is an Arcane character.
Yes,
And she wasn't even big in Arcane. She was barely there.
Right.
Yeah,
But
but
like
she
she's
was
gonna be the
badass.
next oh yeah.
She was really cool.
She's gonna be a juggernaut top. I just know it. You know what I'm saying? And so like
Definitely tough.
Juggernaut top.
yeah. Oh my God. Anyways, moving
You
on.
didn't catch the foreskin pun that I laughed at earlier.
Anyways,
why I asked you- never mind. Sorry.
but like there's a business decision there because we know she's going to be in season 2 a lot.
Yeah.
And so they want to release
Right.
a character
Absolutely.
that you can identify with, like the play rates of Jace, Victor, Jinx,
Yeah.
all they're all skyrocketed like crazy, and you could buy their arcane skins.
And then soon
course,
Warwick will
you know?
probably skyrocket too.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah,
even
yeah,
TFT immediately
Yeah.
after it was all about.
Oh, yeah,
Jinx.
'cause
Oh, yeah, totally.
yeah,
totally,
and they
totally.
put Silco in TFT. It was
Yeah.
like an original character.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so these are like, and these to me are not malicious decisions. Like,
No, I mean they're fun.
fit.
We're having
Yeah, they're
joy
fun.
even
Makes
just
sense.
talking
Yep,
about
yep,
it.
yep.
right?
Yeah. So like those are cool, but it's like it's all
They're calculated. Yeah.
It sucks that free to play, like there are hidden things behind free to play games that like you wonder what the game would be like if people would buy it and just pay a flat fee for it. You know, it's like,
Right.
would I pay $60 to play League once and have everything unlocked? It's like, yeah, but it's like
Maybe.
I would just to pay once and it's just done. Every skin, every character,
It's
constant updates. You know, it's like,
access when it's free to play. I mean, you mentioned
totally
barrier
agree.
to entry. Yeah, like
I'm
games-
not disagreeing. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's just you wonder what the world,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the difference is between having that. So
I don't know. I don't think we'll ever go back to that with live service games.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it is too convenient, and the market has spoken.
Right.
Because typically, at least, and I think this is everywhere in the world, but I feel definitely in America, the West, we are raced to the bottom naturally, because I think it goes to the psychology experiments that we've done of like, okay, would you gamble money you already had versus gambling on the opportunity to get more money?
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, if you didn't have $100 and you could gamble between what cup it is, it's like you could either get nothing or you get the $100. People will play that gamble all the time because the risk factor is not high there, right? But then it's like, okay, if you lose on that opportunity, you got to pay me $5. A lot of people still do it, but some won't. And then the higher you make that go, the more people will like pull away. And so it's like for them to even have to like want to pull out their credit card to like
At
type
all.
it in
Yeah,
and just do
yeah.
anything, it's like, ugh. I feel the same way. Like I need to donate to Wikipedia.
Right.
Oh my God, yeah.
I need to donate to Wikipedia.
That
I
might-
use it way
yeah.
too often, and I always see like, please help us for our funding rounds. And it's like, you know, my $5 is not changing the difference of Wikipedia, but out of principle,
Yeah.
I need to donate to Wikipedia. But every time I'm like, oh, I gotta get up and go get my wallet.
You're right.
And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, please donate to Wikipedia. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I
this
will-
week I'm gonna go donate to
PayPal.
Wikipedia.
If you
makes
do
it
it,
a
I
lot
will
easier.
too.
I know.
I really think, like, if I look at myself in the mirror, that's probably one of my top 5 moral failings, given how much I use Wikipedia. And
Not
like, the thing
donating
that-
to
Not,
Wikipedia?
not having done it once. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I need to do it every year.
Yeah, just at least have. It's like, man, I've used this site too much to
Yeah.
not be paying for.
Yeah.
At least I don't use an ad blocker. Oh, they don't have ads on their site.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even
Right.
matter.
That's
Which is
they're
why they
asking for
keep asking for it.
donations.
And I
Yes.
always say,
So,
Yeah.
but you know, barrier to entry in esports, it is an interesting topic with that. I think another thing that Rocket League has done well, but it's not necessarily that it was intended to do well. It can be played on any platform,
Yeah. Right.
which is like, holy cow.
You kind of need that for an esport to be successful, though, because
I mean, look at all the PC esports, man. They're doing just fine. The biggest one in the world still goes well. Although
but League can run on so many.
computers, yeah, but
Computers,
I'm
yeah.
saying it can't run on many different consoles. It can't run on, you know, it's not on the Switch, on the PS5, on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure Wild Rift is coming to consoles like
I
next
think
year.
League could probably run on more PC configurations than Rocket League could, though. Probably, right?
No,
No.
I think they're exactly the same. If you can run one, you can run the other.
There's a streamer, a Valorant streamer, Thinking Man's Valorant. I love his channel. He released a theory in one of his videos recently that one of the reasons that a lot of agents that have come out recently have like less complex abilities, like maybe still good, maybe still flashy in certain ways, but aren't of the sort that take like a lot of planning and lineup mechanics. His theory is that it's a way to make the move to consoles and other platforms easier
Yeah.
because Valorant
Like they're
wants to
going
go to
to-
other platforms.
Like they're
Well,
going
they
to
have
put
a
Valorant on
mobile
console.
yeah,
They have
on
a
consoles.
mobile version coming out soon.
Yeah, a mobile version coming out. Other maybe it's just the mobile version, but they want to have a
that's
lot of
interesting.
agents that
Can-
like they don't want people to go on mobile and then feel like, why do I even have this? I can't do anything on this. On
Well,
this game
I
with
don't
these
think
characters.
mobile is going to be crossplay with PC.
Well,
don't
I
think
mean,
that
there's
makes
no
sense.
way that
you
that
still wanna
controller
feel
would be
like-
there's no way consoles would be crossplay with PC either.
No way.
They still want it to feel good, I think. And so
Yeah, they
just
wanted
want
to feel very
fewer-
similar to
yeah,
each other.
yeah.
It's the same thing with Wild Rift. Like, but you have like Ash's arrow can actually be moved with your finger, which is not
Right.
in actual League of Legends. Like
Right.
it's just a skill shot cross map.
Yeah.
But it's like people are okay with that though because there's never There's
Right.
not going to be any. And it was like,
Call of Duty just came out with the Warzone mobile version. It's not crossplay with the PC or the console
Well, of
version.
course,
and
yeah, it
it's
can't
fine.
be. It can't be. Yeah,
It's fine.
Dude, I like TFT that I can be cross-play.
Yeah, but that doesn't require fingers. It just requires brain.
Kind of.
And
Well,
a little bit of RNG. On
I
your
will.
side.
I will tell you. Every time I've
have to
played a
click
fortune or econ trait really late at night, and I get my cash out,
And you're trying to reroll.
and I'm trying to do anything on that mobile screen, I remind myself that I've been here before, and I've sworn to myself never to play an econ trade on mobile. And I just,
It is true. Like they removed my favorite augment in TFT because of the phone. It was I forgot what it's called. I haven't seen it so
what's
long.
it do?
Unlimited rerolls.
Oh,
I forget what it was called.
But you can,
I think it was literally just called hyperroll.
okay.
Yeah, or
okay,
something
okay.
like that. But yeah, as soon as you hit it, you just
Right.
and watching the pros do it really was like, that's why they're so good. Like I cannot process that type of information. Like holy crap.
Dude,
like,
I do it 4 times. I probably missed a character I was looking for.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I do it 2
Yeah.
times.
So
Well,
anyways,
that's why they started like lighting up your
Yeah,
character
yeah.
cards.
Oh
and
yeah,
everything,
yeah, which is like you can't go back now.
No,
Which
absolutely
Our
not.
brains
It's
are so
so
trained for
convenient.
that, but
Yeah.
it's like
just like
it's
AI monitors that tell you where the League of Legends character is. We're never gonna go
Is
back.
that how we
But-
fight AI? Just put AI in the game.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to our theme of the week.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah, our
just
feature.
trying to balance monetary gain with
Legacy.
Yeah,
with levers.
yeah. Moving to new platforms, especially mobile, and perhaps letting down your core audience and fan base. This is our Fall of Blizzard segment.
Yeah.
Each of us here at this table have had special moments with Blizzard Entertainment.
I found out actually I played a Blizzard game before StarCraft and I didn't even realize that it was a Blizzard game. It was their second game they ever developed called Rock and Roll Racing. Have you guys ever heard of that?
I have not heard
It was
of this.
before they were actually called Blizzard.
Huh.
Oh,
It
really?
was their name was Silicon and Synapse.
That I have heard of.
I saw that on
Yeah,
Wikipedia.
So they developed 2 games while they were that company, and everyone kept. Well, they claim everyone kept on confusing their silicon with breast implants, so they wanted to go in a different direction for naming.
That's funny.
wild.
That is funny.
But yeah, Rock and Roll Racing, like the most fun racing game that I played on the Sega Genesis, and it was
Interesting.
made by them. The three founders.
So Wolf Clock's history goes deep.
Yeah,
with-
it goes even before StarCraft
Yeah.
because I thought StarCraft was, and then I was looking into it. I was just like, oh, I wonder if I've played any other ones. And yeah, Rock and Roll Racing,
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, 'cause-
fun game if you guys ever want to do like an old school classic. It's super cool.
Right, yeah.
Rock and
Because
roll.
in preparation for this episode, we were thinking about the Fall of Blizzard is a large scale disappointment of the fans by a previously beloved developer. We are each a certain kind of Blizzard fans, and so we are in some ways representative sample of the kinds of fans that Blizzard has let down.
Not hardcore fans either. Well, maybe you. I don't know.
You were definitely a
Overwatch. I was
hardcore fan.
hardcore.
Overwatch,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
I'm a fan of Blizzard for other reasons. I'm a fan of what they made other people. I'm a fan of like their old school legacy and the fact that other studios were like, we have to at least be Blizzard good
Right.
to even steal
Yeah.
market share from anything they're doing. And if we don't have the budget to compete with their polish, forget about it.
Blizzard polish was a thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think when you think about old school Blizzard, that is definitely something that has to be thrown around in the conversation a lot. Right?
Absolutely.
Especially
that's
now in
why
2024.
That's why we call it a fall from Blizzard, because it's like it's not saying like the games that they come out with now are like absolute dog trash or whatever. Like you can get enjoyment out of them, but it's
not
not
the
even
same.
near the same.
Because they used to be like almost incomparable to other developers in the degree to which like the games that came out were good, were like trend/genre setting.
You knew if you bought a Blizzard game, you were gonna have a great time, and
Yeah.
it was gonna last you years.
Yeah. And in part because they were going to give you a lot of updates like DLC.
Yep.
So let's go through some of them. Warcraft. I never played Warcraft. This is not World of Warcraft for the youngins.
Yeah, the
But
RTS.
Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. There was StarCraft, which is now no longer your first Blizzard experience,
Right.
but for a period of your life was the experience you thought was your first Blizzard experience. Did you tell me that was the first one, the first game that you knew how to get past your school's security servers?
Talking about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so
We had a group of Magic players. We're the nerds, and I don't know. A couple of us figured out how to
His
get.
teacher's watching this podcast.
No, I mean they found out.
Yeah,
we all got in trouble for it, but like the good times, man. So we all figured out how to get past. I don't even remember how we did it,
Sure.
but we somehow got past the admin credentials to install the game.
Nice.
And so we had StarCraft on every single PC in the computer lab, which was used for our IT class in high school and then also the study halls. So every study hall, and after we were done working on our IT projects, we were all playing StarCraft.
That's awesome.
Kinda
And it was
beautiful.
amazing. It was so amazing. We'd spend lunches in there sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it was either Magic or StarCraft then.
Right.
For, I think like 2 years we were able
And
to
they
do that.
ruined your bonding time with the boys.
Well, we had Magic to fall back on, so it was
true.
fine.
yeah, no admin credentials needed.
No, just a wallet.
Yeah, for me, my first one was World of Warcraft. In I think 7th, 8th grade, I had a good friend Alex who had been playing World of Warcraft with some of his friends, account sharing for a while, and then I think I started paying like $5 a month of the total subscription fee, and then I got into the account. I had my little Drainy. Or Draina, I don't know if I ever knew how to pronounce it, but I got into WoW for a little while. Before WoW, I'd played Guild Wars, and Guild Wars was like
Guild Wars.
loved Guild Wars. It was like $50 or $60 payment,
Yep.
and you were in. And so
You're
the whole
in.
subscription fee thing was completely mind-blowing to me.
Right.
That actually delayed me for a while in ever picking these up because I knew Blizzard existed before I played a Blizzard game.
Yeah, of
because
course.
of the end cap at Target. All of these
Diablo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Diablo, the Warcraft, the coolest boxes were all made by
Yes,
Blizzard
right.
Entertainment.
Kids these days will never know.
Dude, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all a thumbnail.
I
now.
passed a family video the other day and I almost got slightly emotional. Like it was more than just, man, it's I was like, just the essence, the aura of Fridays. Going to there on a Friday,
Blockbuster was for
finding
me,
the
it was
movies.
Hollywood
Super
Video.
Nintendo,
Yeah.
N64 days.
yeah.
Oh.
I remember renting games occasionally, but it was mostly just like, it's like I want to watch The Knight's Tale with you guys. Now I got to go find out how to buy the movie
Well, you can generally rent
or
it.
just rent it on stream. But it's like, it's just not the same. Like, I'd rather just
No,
go pay
it's not the
$2, go rent it, and it's like,
Dropbox. Isn't that what it's called now?
Yeah, but you can, it's not gonna have the entire library. Yeah.
Right.
Anyways,
But so yeah, after WoW for me, it was a little while after that I wasn't into Blizzard games, but I got into Diablo 3, and
my wife's huge into
Yeah.
Diablo 3.
I completely forgot about until I was like watching some videos on the fall of Blizzard recently. I totally forgot about how the rollout for Diablo 3 was.
Yeah, it was
pretty
trash.
trash.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was huge disappointment.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't recall that news actually, but I don't know when Diablo 3 came out.
I hadn't yet experienced like Blizzard polish.
2016 or something like that. Yeah.
I know Diablo 4 is complete trash. I can't even run it
Well,
on an AMD
it was like
system right now.
The funny thing is I'm pretty sure Diablo 3 is the first game that they released after the acquisition, which is
that's
I would
interesting.
consider is where it started.
Yeah,
too
the
much.
activization.
Yeah.
I actually knew about Activision before I knew about Blizzard because when I was in middle school, my dad wanted to introduce me to the notion of the stock market. And so he's like, hey, we talked to our financial advisor about something that like a company that you might know and identify with. There's this company, Activision, and I'd never played a Call of Duty game, but I also saw them in physical, like at the Target.
Yeah.
And he's like, so what we're going to do is, because he says it's a good decision anyway, we're going to put $1,000 into this company if you want, and you can follow the progress of this game, and then if you lose money on it, or if we lose money on it, no worries. If we win money on it, it's yours.
Cool.
And that was absolutely awesome.
You
Thank
still
you
own
so
those
much.
shares?
No, I spent it all on manga.
Oh, okay.
I cashed out.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Dude, and my entire manga collection I gave to, I mean, she's my ex-girlfriend now, but my then girlfriend's older sister.
Wow.
So I
No
gave
lessons,
all of it.
No lessons learned.
Well, now,
I guess you've learned the
Yeah.
lesson.
Not
Don't-
a money motivated individual.
yeah,
Which is
you
fine.
know,
Neither am I, but yeah.
Yeah, but the manga was really good. Some
Yeah.
of those were, I had so much
Manga's
Naruto. I had all of Death Note. I had Rurouni Kenshin, which now I feel bad about for reasons. We're not gonna address that. But the big thing for me was Overwatch.
Yeah, okay.
Same.
So
Got
is that the
huge
reason
into
why you
Overwatch.
got into Overwatch, or was Overwatch the reason why your dad wanted you to?
Well, that was like way before.
Yeah,
That was
Oh.
a decade
Overwatch
ago.
only came out in 2017.
2020, it was right after I graduated. So it was like the winter that I graduated. 2016 is when Overwatch came out. And I remember catching up with a friend of mine who didn't go to where I went to school. But we were like catching up, and he asked me if I'd played this game called Overwatch, and he knew more about Blizzard than I had. I said no. We thought about like catching up a little bit, and I got into it, and it was just shocking. Like
it was also only $30
it was
when it first came out.
yeah, it was pretty
Oh, was
inexpensive
it?
at the very
Yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, which was that was an interesting decision that they did, I thought, because the games are $60,
Right.
but they released Overwatch for $30.
Well, I bet you I know why they released it, because what I found out digging into like the history of Blizzard a little bit is Overwatch was supposed to be an MMO when it originally
I know
conceptualized.
this game is completely
Yeah.
which is crazy because it works,
Yes.
but it's like
my
this
God.
game is not what
Yeah.
it was even meant to be.
If the characters would have actually had like the skill, like, oh,
Like
this
talents.
is what drives me crazy. Is Overwatch 2 is not going to have PvE.
Yes,
Like
yes,
no
this is-
co-op story missions anymore.
is that the biggest? We're gonna do this
That was
thing.
the only thing I was hanging.
I'm getting
out for.
goosebumps because I'm so
I-
mad.
you actually
I
are getting goosebumps. That's
literally-
wild.
I pre-ordered Overwatch 2 because they
Watch
promised
Point Pack.
that. Yes.
The Watch Point Pack. Yes.
That is why
yes.
I pre-ordered.
That's what
All I'm
broke
gonna
me.
say is I'm pretty sure that is the largest. We're gonna do this thing, and then we're not gonna do this thing
Yeah.
It's gotta
in
be.
gaming history.
It's
I
gotta
think
be.
so too.
It would be like Halo 3's coming out. Nope.
Just multiplayer though.
Very,
Or,
very.
yeah.
Right,
That would
right.
actually burn even
Like
more.
Infinite without getting the campaign with it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Very brief background. So Overwatch comes out in 2016, right? Some of us are very into it. Vinny got kind of into it. I almost converted.
I actually so just so we go through.
Yeah,
so,
totally,
like,
totally. Yeah, I shouldn't. Say
I
that.
had Overwatch up. A buddy of mine started playing it. I'd never played. I'm not really a shooter dude, and I said that going in, and I was just surprised at how good everything flowed. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, the characters feel great, like I'm running the game at a high refresh rate. There's no bugs. There's no
It's got that
glitches.
Blizzard style.
Yeah.
The style is
Yeah.
great. I thought the style was great. I was like, wow, I don't even like games like this, but I was like, I can feel good and relax and play the game. There were
Until
some
you get into the sweaty lobbies, but
100%.
Dude, the rage. Was
I could
real.
actually-
the rage was real, but I don't think about those times now.
It was interesting because I could tell if I was in a WoW lobby because of the PvE nature of how you defeat bosses, right? Well, basically, it's like, okay, where's our paladin? Where's our tank? Where's our healer? If you're not in these positions, you're getting yelled at. Funny enough, we actually don't do that in League. We don't really have like gripes about how people played a team fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just realized that, like, saying this right now.
Interesting.
Let's say, like, oh, you got caught before the team fight, or like, oh, you fed your laner in the laning phase, but like, we don't really. It's like, I think because team fights are so fast and hectic too.
They
Like, even in
are really
Overwatch,
fast
it takes
and
probably a minute to wipe a team.
Talk about
Oh,
barrier to
yeah,
entry in
yeah.
esports, though. Like the amount of action going on.
Oh, it's
at-
a
at
lot,
one-
but
it was a lot.
it's like there's no items, there's no different gun loadouts.
Right,
There's
right,
no.
right,
I mean,
right.
it's like you just play your character. They're simple. They're simple designs.
no items to buy throughout the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like, wow, it's so easy for me to get into it and just play with the homies.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, I really enjoyed that. I mean, I probably put 100 hours into that game.
Oh wow.
for the few months that I was playing it consistently. It did lack for me visual clarity.
I can see that.
And I could never watch the game. It's still to this day very difficult for me to watch an FPS. I don't understand how you do it. I don't understand how people do it. I know they added in the color filter in Overwatch.
Yes.
And I'm like, this didn't help me at all.
I like.
But it was a great game.
I liked watching it more than I liked playing it because I never felt the rage I felt playing and being bad at my position or having somebody that I ended up being throwing or just shouldn't have been there. One of the reasons I was so into it, like as a player, right? When my friend was telling me to get into it, is I'm bad at shooting games generally, right? I could be a tank or a support.
Right.
Like the whole notion of being in a first person shooter and having
100%.
a role.
Yeah.
I could be Reinhardt and I did not have to use a gun at all.
Yep.
Like there was still aiming like with a fire strike, but the kinds of plays I was able to do and the things like I could contribute to the guns on my team doing work
100%.
by my positioning, by my protecting them. That was so cool. Communication was something I could be good at. And it was just so exciting that I didn't have to like in Valorant, regardless of what I like Valorant, I love Valorant esports, but regardless of what role I play, I still have a gun in my hands.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that
then you
means
still got to click heads.
yes.
Yeah.
I have a responsibility holding a Phantom in Valorant that I didn't have holding a hammer. When I was playing
that's
Reinhardt.
actually a really good point.
Yeah.
I noticed that the two characters I was most gravitated to were Bastion and Roadhog.
Yeah.
I liked Roadhog a lot because of the hook mechanic, and he felt like a melee character.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Bastion was just like minigun fantasy. I love minigun fantasy. Let's just light people up, and it's like let's all like amp the minigun guy up and it's just fun.
I think Overwatch is like you could classify it as a first-person action.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
it's better to classify it as a
Right.
first-person action.
in part because of all the MOBA elements, right? Like precisely what you're talking about, like the way you
Blades. Everything's an objective. It's not team
Yeah.
deathmatch.
Yeah,
Unless
map-
you want to specifically like look for that in the game.
Different
but-
maps dictate in some ways which characters are going to have advantages. And there is a lot of information going on screen. So as an esport, I mean, this is part of the fall of Blizzard. There are a lot of things going on, and we can't really touch on them all, especially.
I don't think we can. No.
Yeah.
And there are probably better videos on it. But I
yes.
still feel like it's just like why exactly did it happen?
I
think is important for us to figure out, right?
Yeah.
leadership is there to make shareholders money by law.
Yeah.
So by law, the board must provide profit for shareholders by law.
Yes.
Like that is not even me over exaggerating. That is literally the law.
But does the law determine exactly the way in which they cut costs and make profit at
100%.
such rates?
The problem is like you have to make profit, and then all of a sudden you can't anymore. The interesting thing is all these people, they just get to go to a new product, do the same cycle, and rinse and repeat. And there is nothing. We as a society have not created a way for them to want to keep the identity of the product going strong, right? So one of the thoughts would be like, okay, when you're up in higher level management, your stock can't be sold for like 15 years.
True. Yeah.
Right.
You're locked in as part of your contract.
You're forcing them now to think long term.
Right.
And I've never thought about what the negative reactions of something like that is, but that is like one of the things. It's like when Activision Blizzard merges, it's like, oh sweet, I'm going to bounce around companies no matter what. I might as well get the bag. I'm not staying with this. Isn't my forever home. I'm here for the $40 million parachute. I'm just gonna go do it again.
Right.
And it's like that's the system, and it doesn't create long-term health.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when companies go public, everything changes. It's like the day Steam goes public, that's the day. It's like the world ends. I don't know what else to say. The world ends when Steam goes public.
That was something Blizzard did first too. I think was make the first game client Battle.net.
Yeah.
They did it before Steam?
I think they did, didn't they?
BattleNet was pretty old. I don't know the year.
I'm not
It was
sure
It
if they did it
released with
before
the first
Steam.
Diablo.
You know, you can look up on Wikipedia whether or not you donate and find out. Isn't that such a cool thing? Whether or not.
But yeah, I just I don't know if they did that or not, but you know, something like that I feel like that would help a lot for brand health, you know, because when companies go public, they have to completely bow to the people, you know, the shareholders.
Right.
And that's why like Steam, we were just talking before we went live, EVGA, you know, they choose their own destiny. And, you know, when you make a product and you believe in the product, like this is how I'm going to make my money is by making video games, stick with the product, build the brand. And it's like when you hire people
tell your damn customers that you're gonna make a product and then not release it.
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
People who had that decision were obviously everything goes to the top, right? But you can imagine how many new employees came on to do Overwatch that were from other studios with their value systems of like, well, I mean, we're here to just do this job and we're just leaving, you know? It's like,
Well, that's probably a lot of it too, is once a company gets bought and goes public, the type of employees that they attract are
100%.
even different.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And a lot of the people who were in Blizzard because they were devoted to like the craft of making really good games.
Right.
Everybody who was there.
Yeah.
That first 40 for sure.
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly. And then, you know, a lot of people will compare and like the before Activision, after Activision. Before Activision, it seemed like, and I wasn't in the decision-making rooms, of course not, but the narrative is before Activision, it was less about this mentality of shareholder value, of cutting staff to maximize your bottom line. It was more about let's craft, because we are people who love games, playing good games and making good games and being devoted to a fan base. Let's make the best possible thing for the fans. Let's be known for primarily our polish for the products we give. And then after this Activision merger, it begins to change. Things start getting monetized in new ways. One of the biggest decisions that fans hated was putting Diablo 4 on mobile. They announced
Immortal.
it.
Yeah. Red
Yep.
shirt guy. What an actual legend.
Yeah.
Is this a April Fool's joke?
He was
Red
serious.
shirt guy,
Fans
man.
hated it because Blizzard fans were PC gamers,
Right.
And
Exactly.
like from Activision.
Why would you bring that to BlizzCon?
Why would you bring it to BlizzCon from the Activision Blizzard
Well, because you all have
boardroom?
phones.
Yeah, that's the notorious answer he gave. And like you get the logic behind, like as a business decision.
You know, it
if
wasn't
you're
even
trying to
developed by
increase-
Blizzard.
Yeah, it
It was developed by
It was just a
that
license IP.
NetEase. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
NetEase.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And NetEase was a major problem with I touched on this in the Overwatch episode, but NetEase is the reason that Blizzard games got suspended in service in China because Overwatch or like some Blizzard exec and some NetEase exec couldn't make a decision. The NetEase exec was deeply offended. The NetEase exec who owned an Overwatch League team. Like NetEase owned an Overwatch League team, and they decided to stop being the.
Well, I mean, they're
like the
losing
sponsor.
money by owning an Overwatch team.
Yes, they
so,
also were. They also were.
Yeah.
I mean,
but at that time,
you don't. There's
yeah.
very few teams that make money doing esports.
Yeah.
Well, they probably
yes.
bought it to ideally try to monetize their mobile games then. of
Yeah.
course.
I'm just saying, like, you
Or
know,
to
it's like,
advertise for
Yeah.
there are very few.
Yes.
Very few.
The Overwatch League was oversold as a product, and
Oh, yeah.
from the beginning, it was sold to investors as this is going to be just like the NFL. And the investors it had early on were NFL team owners, other major sports owners. One of the first people that bought in was Robert Kraft of
Yep.
the New England Patriots.
Yep.
And once you have someone like Kraft,
You get an
who
anchor.
buys into the vision, you get an anchor.
Yep.
He was able to, like the Kroenke group, responsible for the LA Rams. They had the Los Angeles Gladiators
That's
all of a sudden. Comcast Spectacor gets the Philadelphia Fusion. Jeff Wilpon, who owns, I want to say it's the Mets, got the New York Excelsior. I still have New York Excelsior merch because I was
You actually bought merch?
Oh, I bought merch. I absolutely. And I lived in Atlanta the year that the second year of the Overwatch League when they revealed Atlanta Reign as one of the new teams. So I actually went to a homestand. Bought merch, brought my jersey, got signatures on that jersey.
That's sick.
Realized too late that when you wash a jersey, it starts coming out. So that's really sad. I can't wear that shirt anymore.
David.
Yeah, I know. I'm stupid. It was a Dogman jersey. Shout out to Dogman. He was great. And I got I got a lot of New York Excelsior. I was a devoted esports, Overwatch esports fan. It's the
You
first
were a
esport I
whale.
had.
The fact that you even bought one jersey, you're a whale.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is an example of the problem of monetizing esports generally.
Yeah.
Like most of the fans don't buy even one jersey.
Well, there was another thing that happened to the esports and just the brand as general, and that's the whole allegations against all.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's to say nothing of all the sexual
Because
misconduct
all
and
the
verbal
sponsorships
abuse.
just
and
dried up
exactly.
Oh yeah,
immediately.
100%.
They
100%.
Yeah, the league was not making money, but it had T-Mobile. It had, I know Butterfinger was one of the last holders on, but it had Toyota for a period of time. It had major
I
companies.
Huge
want to. I
brands.
want to take a slight curveball too, because it still falls under Activision, but it's not. It's not like a Blizzard title.
Okay.
Do you remember when COD was asking for $25 million buy-ins?
Oh,
the
for their
Call of Duty
league.
League?
Yeah.
And do you remember one of the greatest COD personalities of all time, 100
Nate Shot?
Thieves? Nate Shot
Yeah.
was like, he just literally went on Twitter and was like, it is not worth that.
No. Right.
It's like, I'm sorry, guys. We will not be pursuing this. It is.
Right.
And it's like, that is a crazy statement. I mean, I actually was like, I cannot.
The brand that made his
You
his
would think
worth,
that COD,
Yeah.
would think that COD would be like, we'll give it to you for free if we can just
real.
anchor you.
Yeah.
And he's still like, I'm not even gonna. I bet you they probably did.
Well, they had
And
dollar
he's
signs in
still-
or at least
Yeah.
a discount
or
right?
something, and
Yeah,
he's still
you'd
like,
think.
I am not gonna field a Call of Duty esports. There is no money in that, and I feel like it died with him making that video.
Well, one of the major issues with like the whole Overwatch League approach was they didn't care about the endemic talent. They went for the big sports owners who never had an esports team before, who hadn't had any history running an Overwatch team, being in
Because
sports.
why though? Because who's running it?
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
And Bobby he has all those connections.
Yep.
He wants the shareholders to know that this is a big mainstream brand.
Well, and I think another thing too is you have so much traditional talent of management style. We've heard this from players over and over and over again. Get like an ex-football coach that comes in because they know somebody who the owner knows. And they're like, dude, what? What is this guy doing here? He doesn't understand the culture at all. You know, and it's like that's why like teams are like, wow, we're just literally starting to import Koreans and just bring translators over and paying for the Korean coaches and the Korean translators because they at least understand the culture. They might not even understand Western culture, but they at least understand esports culture.
for
There's a horror story in the second. I don't know if it was second and third season of the Overwatch League, but there was this darling team in the Korean Overwatch scene, Runaway, where the owner of Runaway, Runner, it was like a streamer, and he and his wife put up all their own money to make this team, and they had like these pink sweaters.
Sounds like Cloud9 Jack almost a little bit.
They were the darlings, and the whole team, like the dream happens. That whole team gets picked up together under the Vancouver Titans logo, one of the new teams that came out in the second year, and so they hit the jackpot, right? And Runner and the I can't remember her name, but the Runner and Runner's wife were so thrilled for these guys. But it ends up that the Vancouver Titans was precisely one of these teams that had nobody who understood esports at the top. They're just like, oh, this is a good team, we're buying that team. They had virtually no translating staff, anybody who could speak English. The team house was like a disaster for all of the players, even when they were doing incredibly well. Like this team was the second best or best team in this whole season. They ended up losing to the Shock in like the grand finals, which was on ABC. I was able to show my parents the Overwatch League finals on ABC, and I was like, "We made it! Overwatch League is a thing." Sad. But so this whole time, while the team is performing incredibly well, like mental completely
complete boom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's precisely because of what you're saying. Like people get into the industry who don't know the industry. They know things that they think were like what it will
There's
be.
so many stories that come out, like especially now that like Double Lift has retired.
Yeah.
Anytime he's streaming, man, like the most juiciest, craziest stories are coming out. Like there's this sports psychologist called Weldon. I don't know if you ever heard of him around. I know he was in the league scene, but I don't know if he went to other scenes. But he was like this crazy, apparently, like this guy is like the difference maker, like insane. Nah, this guy was completely just a fake. Yeah, complete fake. He would actually get up on stage like during draft and he would mute his mic and go,
Jesus Christ.
to like try to like get into the heads of all the other coaches and play. He didn't know anything, so he would like that was like the whole thing. He's there as like
Feels so bad.
yeah, and like it's like I kind of had that feeling, but yeah,
Dude, how much of esports is the Emperor not having any clothes?
yeah, it's just unreal. It's just unreal. I see your last point here too. Like, can Blizzard still turn things around, or are they just a museum for Game Pass? And I never thought of it like that, but when I saw that you wrote that, I was like, wow, that's such a
I recorded the question.
Concept.
It was. I said museum was my word, and I thought that was an interesting way of putting it. But like the idea is entirely forest.
yeah. I was just like, I'm like, wow, that's a really big like thought, and it's interesting because when Xbox acquired them, how much did they pay?
$69 million. Microsoft paid $69 million. for Activision
69
Blizzard.
million for Activision Blizzard's entire catalog, right?
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
it is.
But you know what? It also doesn't sound like a lot of money. Like
Not in
how
like
much
the
did
long
how
term,
much does
right?
GTA 5 gonna cost? Rockstar. Like I've heard like $500 million to make this game.
Oh,
You know,
no, maybe
like to no, to-
200 million.
No, to build this game and maintain this game is like $500,000, man.
$500 million?
$500 million, yeah.
I don't know.
I bet you it's that
I'd
much.
say it's around 200.
Like
million.
all the scandals is part of.
You think it's only $200 million?
to make the Grand Theft Auto
Bro,
6?
there have been AAA games that have cost that much and that are not even
Really?
GTA.
Oh my gosh,
Bro, these games have cost more than Hollywood for a while.
You're just too
man.
efficient of a board game, a video game creator yourself. Like you,
it costs me
you
$0
are
right
so
now to
cost
make
effective when you make your games that people cherish, right? You are pretty much OG Blizzard, you know, like you yourself, yeah.
Eventually.
But yeah, part of the reason $69 million was all they had to pay was because of all the scandals, like
Oh,
Activision.
definitely.
Oh, I'm
Blizzard
sure
was
that
going through
devalued it
hell.
considerably.
well,
Yeah.
and how much debt they must have gone with
yeah.
the esport.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
That's
like,
what I
they're
say-
still making tons of revenue with WoW. It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
a $15 per month, and they still have million.
Which
at
is why
least,
the
right,
Game Pass
users?
question is
no
so
idea.
deep, right? Like, if existing IP is bankrolling them so much,
Right.
is it just that okay, 69 million's worth it when you
Right.
put together like how WoW's still doing?
Yep.
How
Well, and you don't just get the Blizzard catalog. Though.
Yeah.
You also get Activision.
Yeah,
Which is huge.
Yep.
You get
Absolutely.
all the Tony Hawks. You get all the Call of Duties.
Yep.
You even get like like their mascot guy or whatever. I can't remember what his name is, but
I mean, wasn't Helldivers on Game Pass? Did it come out on Game Pass at all?
I don't know.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. That's our thing. We by the way, we have Helldivers here.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
on Steam for
I
sure.
should come play it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have licenses for it. So, anyways. Yeah. I mean, hopefully Blizzard has a future outside of Xbox, like maybe Xbox.
And
'Cause,
so
like-
I was gonna say this when we were talking about Marathon.
Yeah.
Is I think Marathon is actually in a better place since Sony bought them.
Hmm.
Because even when Sony first acquired them, you know how they went through
For Bungie?
those layoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
But the executives actually in an interview, Sony executives, they went and investigated and got to know all the execs and went through the whole chain.
Did a lot of due
Bungie.
diligence. Yeah.
And like I'm talking like all the workers, all the way
Yeah,
from
yeah,
art,
yeah,
designers,
yeah.
developers, everything. And they said the biggest problem that Bungie had was their management essentially escalating things or taking care of timelines properly
Oh, okay.
when it came to like tasks and keeping their employees, focused and things like that.
Yeah. But it wasn't like direction. It wasn't like art direction or like thematic
No,
vision.
because their art direction's been
Bungie's always had a really good.
Their game design's been a little weird. But the reason why I relate that to Blizzard is Microsoft actually I would say bankrolling them right now
Sure.
takes off all the pressure
That's true.
of the shareholders.
Yeah.
And now Blizzard could actually capture talent that wants to return to that.
I see what you're saying. You're
that
saying the financial
valor.
pressure is off, and so now
I would
maybe
say,
creative
at
can
least
be
for the
back.
next decade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see if Xbox is around in the next decade, though.
Really?
I mean, that's not even that hot of a take.
I mean, the
I
thing that
think
comes next was
so.
always going to be Y-Box.
It's Microsoft.
The alphabet.
No,
Microsoft's
it's not.
always gonna
No,
own
it's not,
Xbox.
though. But it's not Microsoft.
I
It's
mean,
not.
It is.
No, I'm saying, but like Xbox can easily be cut. I believe so.
Oh,
No, I don't even think.
so.
I don't even think that's a hot take.
Isn't it the Xbox Game Pass?
I
Yeah.
think Game Pass.
I mean, Xbox is slowly
Phil-
becoming less hardware and more software
I know.
based.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. Phil is even recognizing that it's like, it's probably this is going to be a cloud service based product.
I mean, eventually it could be. Yeah.
Yeah,
It just becomes xCloud.
I think so.
Probably.
I mean, I could just see. I mean, they're saying that this next Xbox is going to be,
more of a PC.
more of a PC.
Yeah.
because they're already working on.
It's just a
Right.
phone.
It's crazy that
It's
Series
rumors.
X has already been out for like 4 years.
Yeah, I know.
That feels
The Switch
so
has been out for
quick.
9 years.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
7
Anyways,
years?
all right. Well, we should wrap up because now we're starting to ramble, and I know we're getting hungry. So
Oh,
Wolfclock, you and I both agree that the Watchpoint pack killed it, right? Like for us, like the biggest disappointment with Blizzard. I mean, there are a bunch of disappointments.
my biggest disappointment, was
me
that.
too.
I mean, outside of the controversy, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ended up that
And we're
they're-
talking
yeah.
about actually delivering,
Yes,
like
yes.
product.
product.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Not to make, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to make light of the
No,
controversy.
and
It
I
was
know
really
you
bad.
didn't, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let's make sure we loop that.
They ended
in
up
there.
not finding any systematic culture of the kind that was
Oh,
described.
the internal audit or
Yeah.
investigation?
Wasn't
Wasn't that
Patch
done
notes
by
and
Blizzard?
Patch
Yeah.
Notes investigated themselves and found nothing wrong. Hey, everyone, we'll see you guys next episode. Thanks so much.
See ya.